Hi, this is 365801 and this is a 2020 year in BL review video. I made a few year in BL review videos last year for 2019 and I thought it might be nice to do it again. The video I made last year reviewing how much I had spent on BL was a little shocking. It was more than I had expected, with it being £1,311 or $1,723. So in January, while setting my goals for the year, I vowed to reduce my spending. This was, of course, before we all knew how much of a dumpster fire 2020 was going to be, and a lot of people, myself included, took to shopping as a way to cope. Halfway through the year, I made a mid-year review video to ascertain what we could all guess, that I had far exceeded my yearly goal or the limit that I had set for myself, and that this information was not in any way shocking or even a call for change. Hey, a girl got a shop. But now that 2020 is past, I want to see the final total, the damage I have wreaked on my wallet, and just how far from my target I was in the end. Remember, I didn't want to spend more than £260. Yeah, I know. So if we start back in January and just work our way through the year, month by month, going through how much I spent, it does kind of reflect on the circumstances of the world as a whole. Certainly my circumstances. Not necessarily in a good way. So for January, I was able to pick up 7 print volumes of manga. Each of the ones you can see are all from different publishers or imprints, and so it adds to the collection as a whole, which is really nice in various different ways. They're all very different and interesting. I was able to pick up a digital title as well, one that I've been looking forward to and really enjoyed, and I made a video reviewing especially that title and the series. I'll put a link up on the screen. Together the total was £36.65, which even at this stage in January was more money than I should have been spending if I was aiming for around £300 for the year total. So yeah, not a great start, but a nice start, and I think 7 was what I had originally aimed for as a number. I did not maintain that though. Now in February I was also able to get 7 print volumes, no digital titles, so once again the 7 volumes was around that number that I was aiming for. So at this point in time in the year I was feeling pretty cocky. Once again I had only spent £36.77, so it meant that I was being consistent at least, and that was something to be excited about. I was also able to get a couple of really good titles that are a bit difficult to get hold of, and a full complete set as well, which added to the collection. So it was a good month in terms of collecting and the titles that I got, and in terms of how much I was spending. Both January and February being £36 was something to be, celebrated. Not that I knew that. Now in March I was able to pick up 8 BL titles. There's a couple of extra on the screen, but in terms of my BL collection there was 8 titles. Just print, no digital. Together they were £56.05. So it was a particularly expensive month. There were only one more number, but the cost went up by £20. So there was a few expensive ones in there. The one especially was How to Control a Sidecar and Moonlight Promises. Moonlight Promises being £12.43, which at that point in time in the year was pretty expensive, considering Earthian volumes 1 and 4 in February I'd gotten for £14.99. So yeah, it was an expensive month actually, March. Now the end of March was the national lockdown in the UK, and so April you can definitely see that there is a big uplift in the amount I spent. On the screen you can only see a few titles, print ones, but I also spent quite a lot of money on digital titles as well. So overall I got 13 volumes of BL in April, and it cost me £71.64. So I was spending a lot more money in April, and that's probably purely because I was locked in my house with the internet and internet shopping, which is not good. I did get a lot of great titles though that I really enjoyed, and took part in a readathon that was really fun. So I was keeping myself busy in my own way, and there's still a sense of joyousness to life when I think about April, and the titles that I got. Now, May is when we actually see the effect of April, because as you can imagine, when you're online shopping, it takes a few weeks sometimes for certain titles to actually arrive. So often the things that I show in the month have actually been purchased the month before. So being in my house in April meant that come May, there was a lot of parcels in the post. So I went up from 13 overall titles to 18 titles in May, 18, and not a single one of them was digital. They were all print, so there was a lot of mail, which made me happy because it meant that I had some connection with the outside world. Unfortunately, it was £98.53 just on BL. There was a couple in there that weren't BL that I got, but yeah, £98.53 for these titles. Now, May was my birthday month, and so for June and July I actually spent some of the money that I received as gifts or book tokens, and so I was able to pick up on a few different titles. In June I went back down to 6 print titles, yay! Which I was really happy about. Those 6 print titles came to £52.88. However, in June I actually started paying for the Fotikia subscription because they had given us May for free, and I liked the service, so I wanted to support it. And I also bought some Lesin coins, so actually my total for June was £66.34. So yeah, it was more than I wanted to spend for 6 volumes of manga. In July I was able to pick up 12 volumes, so you can see I was ramping up my spending a lot more in the summer months, being stuck at home. Again the Fotikia subscription, and again some Lesin coins. I spent quite a lot of money, much more so than I really wanted to, but I managed to get a couple of really great titles that were out of print and I never thought I'd get, but the cost was more, and that was £135.65, which is 10% of 2019's overall spend. So when I said I wanted to spend only 10%, I didn't just mean per month, I meant overall. So yeah, July's shows the state of the world, I think, at that point in time. Now for August, I have once again around 7 print titles, but I also picked up quite a lot of, well, not quite a lot of, about 5 digital titles. It was the 801 sale, so I was able to get them at a reduced price, which was good. And of course I also got my Fotikia subscription as well. So for August it was £79.99, so just shy of £80, which is obviously, when you think about it, more than double January. Not really what I was aiming for. The reason is purely because there were more titles that I was aiming to get. I could see them, they were out of print and older titles. They were for more than £10, and all of that adds up. I'm very happy that I have the volumes that I got, and it made me happy to have them, so I don't begrudge spending that money at that time, certainly not. Now in August and September I started to go back to work. The country was starting to open up again, but I certainly didn't feel safe at all. I was earning more money, but I didn't feel happy about it. And I think that was another reason for jumping into spending money as a way of coping. It's whatever gets you through the day, right? So I did go into spending a little bit more. I managed to get 13 print volumes and quite a few sets of things. For example, What Did You Eat Yesterday? Or the Finder series, which were big purchases. So with my Fotikia subscription, it was £88.53 for the month of September. But remember, this was things that I had probably purchased maybe in September, but probably in August as well, as I started to gear up for going back to work. So next month is a lot worse. So during September, I was fully at work and fully exposed and not feeling great about things, but making money, so willing to spend it. My oh my, did October just get out of hand completely. This is by far the worst month in terms of just going all out and spending. It's, 37 print volumes of manga with a digital title, so 38 volumes altogether, which is just astounding for 1 month, with the Fotikia subscription as well. That came to a total of £253.73. This is literally what I wanted to buy in 1 year, and I bought it in 1 month. When I look at the titles that I actually purchased though, I love them. They're fantastic. There's some absolutely amazing ones that I never thought I was ever going to get, and I now have them. And yeah, they cost a little bit more because they're not, £3 or £4 or £5. They're £10 or £12 or £15. So the cost of these titles go up. But my joy of having them is there as well. So yeah, October, a great month in terms of adding to the collection, but a terrible month in terms of spending more than I should have. Now November rolled around and I kind of vowed that I would rein it in a little bit more, and I was doing really well. But when an out of print title comes up, you just kind of have to jump on it, and when you see a good bargain, you just have to take it, or you regret not buying it. There's always non-buyer's remorse. There's never buyer's remorse. In November, I also had my Fotikia subscription, but I also purchased some lesson coins as well. And I did spend more than I had planned to, obviously. Every month is like that. And so it was £118.94 for the month of November. Now, December is a bit of a strange one, and once again, a lot of titles I picked up because they were available, and I knew that if I didn't buy them there and then, I would regret it. And so there are definitely a few in there that I feel good about buying. There's definitely a few in there that I think I could have just waited. I didn't need to get them then. I could have just, bought them a few months down the road, and it wouldn't have made any difference. So I definitely bought more than I should have. So in terms of actually buying, I bought 19, and I was gifted 2. So all in all, I have 21 titles for the month of December. So I'm actually happy that I got gifted some. That was nice. But a couple of the ones that I purchased were more on the expensive side than on the cheap side. And so the title is quite a high one. But for 21 volumes, I think it's not bad. So along with my Fotikia subscription for the month of December, I spent a total of £176.31 for the month of December. So taking everything that I purchased over the year and totaling all up in terms of the cost, I spent £219.13, or if you are in America, that is $1,664.68. That is roughly around the same amount as 2019. It's a little cheaper, but if you go back and watch last year's video, you can see that I talked about the fact that I had a large purchase order from Japan that I had bought the year before, and I had to pay for shipping, so £300 of my total was actually shipping. So in actual fact, I had only really spent £1,000 on BL manga in 2019. So that actually means I have spent more money in 2020 than I had in 2019. Yeah, it's not a great amount, I'm gonna be honest. But I did add 179 volumes of manga to my collection. It's a nice number, it's a nice amount. Last year I picked up 172, so it's actually very similar to the amount that I was able to get in 2019. And there was the milestone of getting over 1,000 volumes in my collection. So I have 1,000 different titles in my collection that are BL or BL adjacent. So it is quite a sizable collection now. And as I mentioned last year, that the ones that I went for this year, especially, were mostly out of print, older to get hold of, harder to get hold of, and sometimes more expensive. And that definitely did bear out, even though I actually got more titles, more volumes I should say, this year than I did last year. 179 is a good chunk to add to the collection. As I mentioned last year as well, it is a niche genre within manga, which is a niche genre within books. So yeah, I also do agree with last year's assessment that it's a sizable chunk to add to a collection. Now, when it came to the amount that I bought and the amount that I spent, the average price of a single volume came out at £6.81, which is actually around the same price as the Futiki subscription. So yeah, one volume of manga or a month of manga reading online. So I think that's probably a good buy, and I don't begrudge having the Futiki subscription at all. I'm enjoying it. I just want to use it more this year. My most expensive purchase ended up being Challengers Volume 1. It was originally, I think, £14, which is quite expensive for me, but with shipping added on, it became £17.40. So yeah, shipping got me there in a wee bit, but £17.40 for Challengers is like on the edge of too expensive for me, but I'm really happy, very happy that I have that as a complete set now. The least expensive was 96p, and I spent that on 10 Dance Volume 1 digital as a digital title. There was a sale on, Kindle sale. I'm really happy that whoever put it on Twitter, thank you very much, managed to get it digitally. Or my print one was £2.39, and that was Embracing Love Volume 1, and that was of course the Be Beautiful version. So the range of 96p to £17.40 is quite wide. It's a big gap. So yeah, 179 volumes for £1,219.13. That is my total. I do hope to reduce that significantly in 2021. Here's hoping. Mental health, the state of the world. Let's be joyful and hopeful and hope for better. I think I will keep track of my spending a bit more in 2021. So this is my total, and is it anywhere near yours? I kind of would like to know from other people who buy BL, do they spend around the same amount? I didn't buy a lot of 2020 titles. I bought mostly out of print older titles, so I think that might impact on the amount I'm spending. I would like to know, is someone else comparable? Do they have the same kind of spending habits? Or do you spend a hell of a lot more? Money is something that no one likes to talk about, but actually budgeting and not spending a lot is probably quite good. I'm minimalist in every other aspect of my life, but this is the only thing that I spend money on. And so some people might think that this is a lot, and some people might think that this is not a lot. And as I've said, you can still enjoy Futekia legally, £6 something a month, loads of BL, fantastic. So you don't have to be rich to be a good BL fan that supports the industries. So yeah, you don't need to have a collection like mine. I think most collectors would say don't do it. Yeah. So I'm kind of interested in other people's spending habits and buying habits, and do they care about out of print? Do they try and get the bargains like me? Do they stalk eBay sellers? Go on Amazon Marketplace? Do they check Book Depository and order things or sort things by price? I do it all the time. I'm a cheap biatch when it comes to buying, and yet I still manage to spend more. I do think that's because of the way that the world was this year. So yeah, I'd like to know if other people are buyers like me. So yeah, if you're interested in any more of my videos, I'm hopefully going to be having some more year in BL reviews for 2020 up on the channel. Please check them out. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing if you're interested for more content on BL, boys love, yaoi, and all that good stuff. Remember, every day is a BL day. An expensive BL day, as I found out today.